Did you know that the Buddha was also a Christian saint? Really? And possibly the weirdest part, the saint's name is a direct cognate of Bodhisattva. So how the heck did this become this? Interesting story. The first point is that all of this happened well over 1,000 years ago, when communication globally was like one big terrible game of telephone, except of course telephones hadn't been invented yet. This is why there were amazing misconceptions, such as Christian armies firmly believing that the Mongol horde was a fellow Christian army coming to save them from Muslim invaders. They weren't. Or the frequent statements and depictions of Buddha hanging out with Hercules. It's the buddy comedy we all want. So let's take a look at the story of Barlaam and Jehoshaphat, also known as Bilawar and Buddhasaph. This is important. According to the Christian legend of this saint, there was a king in India who was persecuting the Christians who were there under the Church of the Apostle Thomas. An astrologer predicted that someday his own son would in fact become a Christian. So the king forced the prince to stay within the palace walls at all times. Nonetheless, he got out, met a cool hermit, decided to convert to Christianity, became a saint. Sure, this is similar to the story of the Buddha. King, son, astrologer predicts son is going to become a great religious figure. King is like, oh heck no, imprisons the son in the palace. Son gets out, sees stuff, goes, oh heck no, and then ends up becoming Buddha. But that's not a smoking gun. The smoking gun is in the name. Jehoshaphat comes from the Sanskrit bodhisattva. Around the 6th or 7th century, this term changed to Bodhisattva, and then Buddhasaph. This, by the way, was written down in an Arabic book called Kitab al-Bilawar wa Yudasaph, or Buddhasaph. This book made its way into the Christian world and was interpreted as a Christian story. But how did we get from Buddhasaph to Yudasaph? Sloppy handwriting. You see, in Arabic, the B sound is represented by ba, while the Y sound is represented by ya. The difference is just that one has a single dot underneath while the other has two. So what happened? This was way before Arabic was being printed. Everything was done in handwriting. So with the smudge of a hand or an errant drop of ink, Buddhasaph became Yudasaph. In its first official Christian iteration, the Georgian epic Balavariani, which I might not be saying right, it's written as Iodasaph. In Greek, that became Iosaph, and then Latinized to Josaphat, or Josaphat in English. Because he was such an early saint, he was not officially canonized, but he was recognized by multiple churches. According to the Roman calendar, his feast date, along with St. Barlaam's, was celebrated jointly on November 27th. In the Greek Orthodox tradition, it was the 26th August Julian, or 8th September Gregorian. And according to the Eastern Orthodox Church, 19th November Julian or 2nd December Gregorian. So that's how the Buddha became a Christian saint.